What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out SpinFuel's Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and I've got another review for you guys today, which is going to be Phat Panda Eliquid. So, as you can see, I am in my palatial new studio, if you want to call it that. Definitely some changes need to be made, but this is going to be overall the new look of Daily Vape TV from now on. So without further ado, let's get right down into this review. I did want to give a huge shout out to Jen from Phat Panda. She's the one that gave me this juice for the purpose of review. So big shout out to you, Jen. Thank you very much. Really do appreciate it. So I have 3 flavors for you guys to see today. They also have 2 additional flavors, which I will be reviewing in the near future. So make sure you stay tuned for that as well. However, they are available in 15, 30, and 120 ml bottles. 15 mils are $9, 30 mils are 18, and 120s are only $50. So they're definitely a bargain. They're mixed in a 70 VG, 30 PG ratio. Like I said, I've got 3 flavors today. I'm going to start with the first one, which is going to be Twerkin' Berries. So the flavor description reads, sweet and tangy berry-filled combo. Pretty simplistic. They don't really give you too much else for description-wise. So I have been vaping this before, so I do have a little bit of background and knowledge on what this flavor tastes like. But for the purpose of this review, let's get right down into it. I've got a fresh coil on my Ego 1 flavor setup, like I normally use for flavor reviews. So let's get started and we'll have our first taste. So the flavor description doesn't really give you much to go by. I am getting a little bit of raspberry kind of tartness on the inhale, and the exhale is all sweet. Nice mix of berries in there, and I love the fruity, sweet exhale. Really, really enjoyable. I can't really pick too many individual flavors out. Like I said, I got a little bit of that raspberry, but other than that, I'm kind of at a loss on what exactly is supposed to be in this, but I'm really enjoying it, so I'm not going to complain too much. So yeah, I mean, a nice tart inhale, a fruity exhale. This is definitely one for you fruity flavor lovers out there. Let's have another taste and I'll get to my ratings. Alright, so for the flavor on this one, I'm going to give it a 4. Not the best overall flavor, but it is pretty darn good. This one's really for me because I love the fruity vapes. Definitely doesn't leave me wanting any more fruits in there. I mean, I get that nice little raspberry hint, which is really, really enjoyable. And the sweetness on the exhale, definitely for me. So a 4 for the flavor. For the vapor production, I'll give it a 3.5. It is a 70-30, so it could be a little bit higher in VG, which would give you bigger, plumes, but overall satisfaction is definitely there. So 3.5 for vapor production, and for the throat hit, I'll give it a 4.5. The only thing that takes away from this one is a little bit of that raspberry tartness to it. So you get a little extra kick in the back of your throat, but that's about it. Not too much else to be said about Twerkin' Berries. So let's move on to our next flavor. Alright guys, I have the next flavor all ready to go in the tank. The next flavor is going to be Fruity Cookie. So the flavor description reads on this one, a wickedly sweet candied fruit-filled dessert. Now I'm imagining something along the lines of like a sugar cookie with some fruit or something like that. Not really sure what to expect out of this one, but hey, let's give it a shot. So let's take our first vape here. You know what? I think my description was pretty much spot on. I'm definitely getting the sweetness of like a sugar cookie kind of taste going on. And I also get almost a candied fruit, something like a maraschino cherry kind of flavor or something like that. Can't really put my finger on what exactly fruit it's supposed to taste like, but I'm actually kind of enjoying it. I haven't been known to enjoy the bakery flavors, but this one is pretty darn good. I'm starting to change my mind, I think, on certain bakery flavors, so I will definitely be giving more of them a shot in the upcoming, reviews. So, overall, it's a nice sweet inhale, it's a sweet exhale. You get more of the bakery flavor on the inhale, so I definitely get the sugar cookie aspect first, and then on the exhale, I'm getting the kind of fruit flavors. But I think this one's pretty good because I've never had a flavor quite like it. It's very interesting. I mean, I've had cookie flavors, I've had fruity flavors, but no one's really come up with anything that I've tried that is a combination of the two, especially not done in this way. So let's have another vape here and we'll get to my ratings. You know, I just have to say that I'm really enjoying the inhale on this one. That sugar cookie flavor is like spot on in my mind. It doesn't taste artificial whatsoever. It's a really nice sweet flavor. Definitely enjoying the inhale on this one. So for the flavor on this one, I'm actually going to give it a 4.5. I think this is top-notch flavor production. You know, you get all the little subtleties of a cookie. You know, it doesn't taste too, you know, harsh or artificial or like alcohol or anything like that. I really get a nice, dense sugar cookie flavor on the inhale. The exhale, it's kind of a mystery again what kind of fruits are supposed to be in this, but I'm getting kind of somewhere along the lines of like a candied kind of fruit. Similar to like a fruitcake or something like that. So it's actually a really enjoyable overall flavor for me. And I mean, I was very much surprised by this one. So very well done, Phat Panda. For the vapor production, I'll give it a 4. Pretty much average. I wouldn't say too much, you know, of anything. It's decent vapor production. And for the throat hit, I will give this a 4 as well. It's okay, it's good, it's not too harsh, not too light, you know, it's right around where I like it to be. You know, actually, I'll bump it up to a 4.5. It's close enough to call it a 4.5. So that does it for Fruity Cookie. Let's move on to our final flavor. Alright guys, so for my final flavor tonight, I have Morning Buzz. The flavor description on this one reads, creamy and sweet coffee to get you going. Now, I don't know about you guys, but as a former smoker, I used to love my normal coffee and a cigarette in the morning. So this one kind of satisfies both cravings. So let's give it a taste. So to me, this definitely doesn't taste like any $8 macchiato or anything like that you would find at Starbucks, but more like the average cup of joe. Almost like the normal black coffee that you would get at any like corner diner or deli or something like that. Now me personally, I prefer my coffee with a little bit of cream, little bit of sugar. So you do get a little tiny hint of creaminess in here and a little tiny bit of sweetener, but nothing over the top. It's more black than anything. As far as that goes, I mean, I could definitely see myself vaping this with my morning coffee. But other than that, definitely not an all-day vape. I'm actually kind of looking forward to this tomorrow morning when I have my normal cup of coffee, and I'm going to be vaping on this, and hopefully it kind of pairs well together, if you will. Kind of tastes a little cheap in my book, but that's kind of the thing that I think that they were going for. Not like any sort of fancy caramel whipped cream blah 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 fancy schmancy drink, but more just the average kind of cup of coffee. So yeah, I mean, if anything, I would compare it to one of those Monster energy drinks that you get, the coffee Java ones or whatever. I think it would go really well with that. So any energy junkies out there that normally drink those, I would suggest trying this and drinking that and vaping this at the same time. I might end up doing that as well. So let's have another taste and I'll get to my ratings. Alright guys, so for the flavor on this one, I'm going to give it a 3. Now that sounds bad, but the only reason I'm giving it a 3 is because I can't see myself vaping this stuff all day long. However, for the occasional vape, especially in the morning with your cup of coffee, this would definitely pair really nicely. And that's definitely what I'm going to be doing with this. This will stay in this vape, and this will be my morning kind of routine, wake and vape kind of thing. It does have more of a bitter flavor, so if you're expecting a light and sweet kind of coffee, this is more on the black side. However, it does have a little bit of cream and a little bit of sugar in there. You can kind of taste it more in the background, but it's definitely more on the bitter side, if anything. For the vapor production, I'll give it a 4. It's pretty good. Nothing really to complain about there. And for the throat hit, I'll give it a 4.5 as well. Pretty spot on, right where I like it. Especially 70-30 blend gives me a good amount of flavor, good amount of vapor, good amount of throat hit. Everything's, you know, all hunky-dory. One thing I have to warn you about is the color of this liquid. It is rather dark. It has a very dark amber kind of hue to it. So this could be a coil destroyer. If you're expecting to drip a lighter flavor over it or anything like that after you drip this stuff or after you had this stuff in your tank, I wouldn't expect it to be very prevalent. I would expect more coffee than anything. This is going to stick around in your tank or on your coils for quite some time. So just be aware of that. So overall, Phat Panda, I'm really digging it so far. I can't wait to try their other 2 flavors. I know they got a pumpkin one that they just came out with for the fall season, so definitely looking forward to getting into that, which I will have for you in a future review, so stay tuned for that. One thing I would like to suggest to Phat Panda is come up with a little bit more, extrapolate more on your flavor descriptions on your website, because those flavor descriptions really don't give you much. They leave a lot to the imagination. So that's just a little quick note for Jen and the team over at Phat Panda. But overall, really enjoy these flavors. Definitely give them a shot. Make sure you follow the links in the description if you want to check any of these flavors out for yourself. That does it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button down there, right there. All the support is really, really, really awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more videos, as well as check out spinfuel.com for more of me, as well as Smoke and Joey and Spinfuel official videos. And as always, vape on.